I am Dr. T. Narasimhayya, working as Senior Professor in the Department of Commerce and Management Studies, SDC College, Kolar. In the last session, I covered the accounting procedure involved in the books of vendor company in respect of mergers and acquisitions. That involved calculation of purchase consideration and preparation of necessary ledgers in the books of the vendor company. Connected to the same problem, today I am going to cover the accounting procedure in the books of the purchasing company. The usual accounting steps involved in the purchasing company are the passing of incorporation entries or opening journal entries in the books of the purchasing company and preparation of the final balance sheet or what we call as new balance sheet in the books of the purchasing company. Today in this video I am going to cover the passing of incorporation entries and preparation of new balance sheet in the books of the purchasing company, that too connected to the problem solved in the last video. The practical problem taken as an example for this solution is the balance sheet of Kahani company, that is the problem last considered. The transactions or add-on accounts given in the balance sheet are: on asset side, building, trademarks, patents, stock, debtors, cash, preliminary expenses, P&L account, advertisement expenses, goodwill, underwriting commission and copyrights. Among all these assets, preliminary expenses, P&L account, advertisement expenses and underwriting commission are the fictitious assets. They cannot transfer to the purchasing company, which are transferred to the vendor company equity shareholders, and the remaining assets are the saleable assets which may be transferable to the purchasing company. On the liability side, they are given preferred share capital, equity capital, debentures, interest outstanding on the above, sundry creditors, workman SB account, workman compensation fund, dividend equalization fund, proposed dividend, provision for tax and mortgage loan. Among all these liabilities, the outside liabilities means the capital raised by the company from the outsiders are the debentures, interest outstanding on the above, sundry creditors, workman SB account, then provision for tax and mortgage loan. They are the outside liabilities which may be transferable to the purchasing company. That depends upon the conditions stated in the agreement made between the purchasing company and the vendor company. Let us see the agreement made between the purchasing company and the vendor company regarding the transfer of assets and liabilities. As for point number A, 5 shares of ₹5 each, it is in respect to the purchase consideration. Point number B, 6 shares of 5 each payable to the preference holders, it is also in respect of calculation of purchase consideration. Debenture holders to be paid in full in ordinary shares of ₹5 each, and for the interest outstanding on cash. This is the outside liability which is transferable to the purchasing company, and the settlement of this outside liability is to be recorded in the books of the purchasing company. The next point number D, the creditors to receive 75% of sums due to them in fully paid shares of ₹5 each, and the remaining 25% balance in cash. It is also like a debenture. As for AS 14, any outside liability settlements are to be shown in the books of the purchasing company. Hence, the settlement of debenture as well as the settlement of the creditors both are to be shown in the books of the purchasing company. And then the next point, that is point number E, the liquidation expenses of ₹5,000 is payable by the frame company and actual expenses are ₹6,500. Any liquidation or formation expenses payable by the purchasing company is to be recorded in the books of the purchasing company, assuming it is the purchase of goodwill. But actual expenses made by the vendor company is not at all related to the purchasing company, which is to be recorded in the books of the vendor company directly. Next, out of the shares received by the Kahani company, here Kahani company is the vendor company, 1/4 were sold at a discount. So the shares received by the vendor company in the purchase consideration and sold by the same vendor company is not at all linked with the purchasing company. So in the solution of the accounting procedure in the books of the purchasing company, you have to keep in mind all these points, that is payment of purchase consideration, both to the equity holders and preference holders are in the equity shares only. Debentures are to be settled partially in shares and partially in cash. Likely, even in respect of the creditors, settlement is partially in the form of shares and partially in the form of cash, and the payment of liquidation expenses by the purchasing company is rupees 5,000. All these points we have to cover in the accounting procedure of the vendor company. Let me see how it is to be followed. The incorporation entries in the books of purchasing company. The common entries involving in the books of the purchasing company are in an order. The first one is entry for purchase of business purchase. Entry for purchase of business purchase is business purchase account debtor to liquidator of vendor company. Here the assets and liabilities are to be taken over by the purchasing company from the vendor company. In respect of the vendor company, the person who is going to act as a mediator is called the liquidator. Hence, business purchase account debtor to liquidator of vendor company is the first journal entry. So the first entry here is, that is, business purchase account debtor to liquidator of vendor company. The price which is to be quoted against the business purchase is nothing but the purchase price to the purchasing company. That is nothing but the purchase consideration. The purchase consideration which is paid to the equity holders and preference holders following the provisions of AS 14 calculated in the earlier is rupees 6,16,667. That is the amount payable to the liquidator. Narration for this effect is being PC due. That is actually business purchase and the PC is due to the vendor company. Shortly, being a short form, we have to say that being PC due to the vendor company. PC due. The second journal entry to be passed in the books of the purchasing company is to take over the assets and liabilities. Here, only the assets and liabilities which are to be taken over by the purchasing company, that too at the agreed values, that is market values we have to consider here. So in this problem, the market values of any assets and liabilities is not given. Moreover, the name of assets and liabilities which are to be taken over by the purchasing company is also not given. Therefore, we have to assume that almost all the saleable assets are taken over by the purchasing company at balance sheet values, and also only the outside liabilities which are in the vendor company are to be taken over by the purchasing company. They are also at the book values. So here the concept is that the assets and liabilities are taken over by the purchasing company at the balance sheet values, because no information about the name of assets and liabilities taken over and also the price which is accepted by the purchasing company. Hence why in the journal entry, first of all, we have to debit the assets taken over by the purchasing company. As per the balance sheet, the saleable assets in the books of the purchasing company are, one is buildings account data. The book value of the building is rupees 7 lakhs. Then trademarks account data rupees 80,000. Then patents account data rupees 3 lakhs. And then stock account data 2,25,000. Then debtors account data amounted to 1,60,000. And then cash account data 25,000. Then goodwill account data, even though the goodwill is to be taken over by the purchasing company, in the passing of second entry, goodwill cannot be recorded at all, because on the balancing of the second journal entry, goodwill may arise. Goodwill or capital reserve may arise. Therefore, even though the goodwill is taken over by the purchasing company, goodwill shall not be included in the assets. It may become as a balancing figure. Therefore, goodwill is excluded. Then copyrights. Copyrights account data amounted to 45,000 rupees. So they are the assets taken over by the purchasing company. After recording of all the assets taken over by the purchasing company, as a usual practice, you have to leave one line space to record any balancing figure that arises on the asset side treated as goodwill. Okay, so leaving one line space, let me to record the outside liabilities taken over by the purchasing company. The outside liabilities are, the first one is 2 debentures. 2 debentures. Debentures value is not changed, therefore it is 1 lakh rupees. Then that is interest outstanding on the above 2. Interest outstanding on debentures, that is rupees 20,000 continuation. Then 2 sundry creditors, amounted to 1,10,000. Workman SV account, it is also payable to the outside workers, rupees 25,000. Dividend equalization fund, that is the reserve proposed dividend payable to the equity holders. Then 2 provision for tax is rupees 12,000. Then mortgage loan amounted to 50,000 rupees. So they are the outside liabilities which are to be taken over by the purchasing company. Because of market values are not given, we are going to assume that all the outside liabilities are to be taken over by the purchasing company at balance sheet values. After recording of all the liabilities, the business purchase account is to be created here. That is business purchase account. Here the business purchase debited in the first journal entry is rupees 6,16,667. So after recording of all the assets and liabilities in the second journal entry, now we have to balance only the second journal entry to find out the any balancing figure that may be in the debit amount column or in the credit amount column. Any balancing figure if arise in the debit column, that is to be treated as a goodwill. That is the excess payment made by the purchasing company towards the acquisition of assets from the vendor company. On the other hand, if the balancing figure arises in the credit column, the balancing figure in the credit column is to be treated as a capital reserve, that is the capital profited to the purchasing company from the acquisition of assets and liabilities from the vendor company. Let me see the balancing figure that may be in the debit column or in the credit column. By comparing the assets and liabilities taken over by the purchasing company, the total value of assets taken over are rupees 15,35,000, whereas the liabilities taken over by the purchasing company along with the purchase consideration in total rupees 9,33,667. Comparing these two values, here assets values are more, liabilities are less, in the sense that the purchasing company is going to pay lower value for the assets taken over by the purchasing company, that to rupees 6,01,333. The excess of assets value, or in other words, the lower value of liabilities is to be considered as to capital reserve. This is the balancing figure in the second journal entry, that is 6,01,333 is the capital reserve to the purchasing company. So here assets are more, liabilities are less. the excess of assets taken over the liabilities taken over by the purchasing company is treated as a capital reserve. On the other hand, if the liabilities are more and assets are lower, then the lower value of assets is to be taken as a goodwill, but in this case there is a capital reserve. So narration for this transaction is being assets and liabilities taken over and excess of assets is treated as capital reserve. Excess of assets are treated as capital reserve because it is a profit into the purchasing company. So after the passing of the second journal entry, the next compulsory entry is payment of purchase consideration. After acquiring the assets and liabilities, what the price which is to be payable by the purchasing company is to the vendor company should be paid off. The payment is made to the liquidator, hence why here liquidator is debited, being the receiver. Liquidator of vendor company account data 2. The modes or sources in which the purchase consideration is settled by the purchasing company is to be created here for both the equity shareholders and also to the preference shareholders. The payment is made in the form of equity shares only. Being the payment in the equity shares to the issuing the company, the issue of shares becomes the capital. Hence why the payment of purchase consideration in the form of equity shares is treated as to equity share capital account. Equity share capital account. So here the total purchase consideration payable is rupees 6,16,667 in both the cases. Narration is that is the purchase consideration is settled in the issue of equity shares. So these are the three compulsory generalities to be passed in the books of the purchasing company. The first entry is for purchase of business, that is to make the agreement between the purchasing company and vendor company. The second journal entry is to take over the assets and liabilities, and the third entry is the settlement of purchase consideration. After the completion of the third entry, that is the settlement of purchase consideration, we have to see a few more entries that depends upon the payment of realized expenses, settlement of outside liabilities, and any issue of new shares and purchase of assets. So with reference to this problem, there is a transaction related to the purchasing company towards payment of realization expenses to the vendor company. The payment of realization expenses to the vendor company is treated as goodwill purchase in the books of the purchasing company because the payment of realization expenses is in addition to the purchase consideration. Any extra value paid to the vendor company is treated as the goodwill as per the definition attached to the goodwill. So therefore here entry number 4 for the payment of realization expenses to the vendor company treated as goodwill. Therefore here that is goodwill account debtor to bank account because the expense are to be paid in the form of cash. Therefore goodwill account debtor to bank account, here the amount paid for the realization expenses is rupees 5,000. So narrate is being realization expenses paid. Being realization expenses paid by the purchasing company. After the payment of realization expenses, we have to give entries for the settlement of any outside liabilities taken over from the vendor company. Here, as per the point number C and D, there is a settlement of two outside liabilities called, one is debenture holders to be paid in full in ordinary shares of rupees 5 each and for interest outstanding in cash. Both the debentures as well as the outstanding interest on debentures is payable to the debenture holders. So therefore the entry is to be for settlement of debentures is Here entry number 5, that is settlement of debentures. Here the debentures are rupees 1 lakh is there. That is here the debenture holders are the receivers now. That is debenture holders account debtor or debentures account debtor to cash and debentures account debtor to outstanding interest account debtor, outstanding interest account debtor. The interest debentures are rupees 1 lakh and interest outstanding on the debentures is rupees 20,000. The combined rate is to be passed here. The debentures are to be paid in the form of shares. Therefore, here to equity share capital rupees 1 lakh. Here debentures of rupees 1 lakh is paid in the form of shares. Therefore, here to equity share capital and outstanding interest of rupees 20,000 is paid in the form of cash. Therefore, it is bank account rupees 20,000 rupees. Here debentures are rupees 1 lakh. Outstanding interest is rupees 20,000 as shown in the part of the limits taken by the purchasing company. The debentures are paid in the form of share capital, but interest is paid in the form of cash. A combined net passed here. Narration is being debentures and outstanding interest on debentures is settled. So the fifth entry is over. So after the fifth entry, again there is a settlement of creditors. In respect of the settlement of creditors, the information given is creditors to receive 75% of sums due to them in a fully paid shares of rupees 5 each and 25% balance in cash. Here also the creditors are settled in the form of shares and also cash. So to for the entry for the settlement of creditors is here the receivers are the creditors account debtor. The creditors are to be paid in the form of shares, that is equity share capital partly, and the remaining part is to be paid in the form of cash, hence it is to bank account. Total amount payable to the creditors is sundry creditors is rupees 1,10,000 rupees. This is amount payable to the creditors is 1,25,000, 1,10,000. Out of 1,10,000, 75% of sums due to the creditors is paid off in the form of equity capital. That is 75% of 1,10,000 comes to 82,500. That is 1,10,000 into 75% is equal to 82,500 is paid in the form of shares, and the balance rupees 27,500 is paid in the form of cash. Okay, so then the narration for this entry is being creditors settled in shares and cash. So there ends the journal entries in the books of the purchasing company. Here there is no question of issue of new share and no question of purchase of any new assets for the expansion of the business. Two transactions are left out in this problem. If those two transactions, that is issue of new shares for the increase in the capital and purchase of new assets for the development of the business, if those two transactions are given, we are going to cover out all the journal entries which are to be passed in the books of the purchasing company, only leaving the two transactions. Remaining all the journal entries are reflecting here in this problem. Okay, so after passing of the incorporation entries, the next step in the books of the purchasing company is the preparation of new balance sheet. Okay, here whenever we are going to pass the second journal entry, That is, whenever we are going to pass the journal entry, the preparation of the new balance sheet is very easy because all the values of assets, the heads of assets and liabilities, as well as the values of assets and liabilities are to be reflected in the journal entry. Just if we are going to make a copy of the second journal entry, more than 80% of the new balance sheet will be completed. Let me see how the second journal entry will be, the new balance sheet will be taken place in the books of the purchasing company. The second and the final step in the books of the purchasing company is the preparation of new balance sheet. That is the statement of assets and liabilities. As the usual practice, first of all we are going to display the liabilities. The liabilities are headed as, that is, capital and other liabilities. Capital and other liabilities. As a company, first of all we have to show the capital, that is equity share capital. Here equity share capital is the total payment made in the purchase consideration, as well as the payment made to the debenture holders, and also payment made to the creditors in the settlement. Then the total equity share capital, that is payment in the PC, payment to the debenture holders, and payment to the creditors. In total it is 7,99,167. After the displaying of capital, next we have to show the reserves and surpluses. In the purchasing company, the reserves and surpluses are nothing but the capital reserve here. Capital reserve. The capital reserve is the extra assets, that is rupees 6,01,333. However, the purchasing company paid rupees 5,000 towards the realization expenses of the vendor company. It is a capital loss. Capital profit, that is capital reserve, is 6,01,333, and capital loss, payment of realization expenses in the name of goodwill, is 5,000. So capital profit minus capital loss, that is the capital reserve. The net amount is 5,96,333. Is the capital reserve. After displaying the capital reserve, the next outside liabilities taken over from the vendor company are workman SP account. Workman SP account amounted to rupees 25,000 rupees. Then provision for tax. Provision for tax amounted to rupees 12,000. Then mortgage loan. Mortgage loan amounted to rupees 50,000 rupees. Then the company paid, that is the purchasing company received rupees 25,000 as a cash from the vendor company. The cash received from the vendor company is rupees 25,000, but the purchasing company paid realization expenses of rupees 5,000. Amount paid to the debenture holders is rupees 20,000, that is towards the outstanding interest, and the amount paid to the creditors, that is 25% of the creditors, rupees 27,500. The net balance in the bank account becomes negative value of 27,500. Payments are 5,000, 20,000, 27,500, but the cash received is only 25,000. Excess payment made by the purchasing company is rupees 27,500, which is treated as bank overdraft. Bank overdraft, that is the balancing figure in the bank account, rupees 27,500 rupees. So there the list of liabilities. The total of liabilities comes to rupees 15,10,000 rupees. After listing of the liabilities, the next portion of the balance sheet is listing of assets. Here, all the assets which are to be taken over by the purchasing company from the vendor company are to be listed at their market values, or the values at which it is accepted by the purchasing company. So, in the course of assets, the first one is the building, the buildings are taken over at rupees. Buildings are taken over at rupees 7 lakhs. Then trademarks rupees 80,000. Further, patents. So patents rupees 3 lakhs. Then the other asset is stock value rupees 2,25,000. Then debtors at rupees 1,60,000. And finally copyrights rupees 45,000 rupees. Then the total value of all the assets, that is total A, is equal to 15 lakhs 10,000 rupees. So total of the liabilities is 15 lakhs 10,000 and the total of the assets is 15 lakhs 10,000. There ends the preparation of the balance sheet. The first step in the purchasing company is passing of incorporation entries, and the second and also the final step in the purchasing company is the preparation of the balance sheet. The balance sheet is the list of assets and liabilities. As a practice, first of all, we are going to display the liabilities and then the assets. So there ends the accounting procedure in the books of the purchasing company.